The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge stands as a testament to nature's raw beauty. This vast and pristine wilderness is a place where the natural world remains largely untouched by human hands, offering a glimpse into the Earth's ancient past. Located in the northeastern corner of Alaska, it is a place untouched by modern civilization. Here, the land stretches out in an unbroken expanse, a reminder of what the world looked like before the advent of cities and roads. Its vast expanse encompasses a tapestry of diverse ecosystems. From coastal plains to alpine tundra, each ecosystem supports a unique array of flora and fauna, creating a mosaic of life that is both intricate and awe-inspiring. Towering mountains pierce the sky, their snow-capped peaks standing as sentinels over the land. These majestic formations are not just geological wonders, they are also home to a variety of wildlife that has adapted to the harsh conditions. Tundra stretches as far as the eye can see, a seemingly endless expanse of open land. This vast, treeless plain is a unique ecosystem that supports a variety of plant and animal life, each specially adapted to survive in this extreme environment. ANWR is a sanctuary for countless species. From the mighty grizzly bear to the elusive Arctic fox, the refuge provides a haven for wildlife to thrive. Migratory birds travel thousands of miles to nest here, and the caribou herds move across the land in a timeless dance of survival. It is a place where time seems to stand still. The rhythms of nature dictate the passage of days and seasons, creating a serene and timeless landscape that invites reflection and awe. The air is crisp and clean, carrying the scent of untouched wilderness. Each breath is a reminder of the purity and vitality of this remote sanctuary. The silence is broken only by the sounds of nature, the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant call of a bird, and the soothing murmur of a flowing stream create a symphony of natural sounds that is both calming and invigorating. This remote wilderness is a stark reminder of the planet's untamed beauty. It is a place where the natural world reigns supreme, unaltered by human intervention, and where the delicate balance of ecosystems is maintained. It is a place where one can truly experience the power and majesty of the natural world. The breathtaking vistas and the raw, unfiltered beauty of the landscape inspire a deep sense of wonder and respect for the Earth. ANWR is a national treasure that deserves our utmost protection. Preserving this pristine wilderness is not just about safeguarding a piece of land. It is about maintaining a vital part of our planet's natural heritage for future generations to experience and cherish. ANWR teems with life, despite its harsh conditions. Caribou herds roam the tundra, their hooves drumming against the frozen ground. Polar bears, icons of the Arctic, patrol the icy shores in search of seals. Musk oxen, with their thick coats and curved horns, endure the frigid temperatures. Wolves stalk their prey across the snow-covered landscape. Birds migrate from all over the world to breed in the refuge's marshes and wetlands. This delicate ecosystem is finely balanced. Each species plays a vital role in the intricate web of life. The fate of these animals is intertwined with the fate of ANWR itself. Beneath the pristine surface of ANWR lies a vast reservoir of oil. This untouched wilderness, known for its breathtaking beauty and diverse wildlife, hides a treasure trove of natural resources that has captured the attention of many. Estimates suggest that billions of barrels of crude oil could be extracted from the refuge's coastal plain. This area, often referred to as the 1002 area, is believed to hold one of the largest untapped oil reserves in North America. This potential wealth has fueled a decades-long debate. Lawmakers, environmentalists, and industry leaders have all weighed in, each with their own perspectives and interests. The discussions have been intense, with passionate arguments on both sides. The allure of energy independence and economic prosperity is strong. For many, the promise of tapping into these oil reserves represents a path to a more secure and prosperous future. The potential to reduce reliance on foreign oil and to boost local economies is a powerful motivator. Proponents of drilling argue that tapping into ANWR's oil reserves would create jobs, boost the economy, and reduce dependence on foreign oil. They highlight the potential for thousands of new jobs, increased state revenues, and a more robust national energy strategy. They point to the economic benefits that oil production has brought to other parts of Alaska. Prudhoe Bay, for example, has seen significant economic growth and development as a result of oil extraction. The influx of revenue has funded public services, infrastructure projects, and community programs. However, the potential consequences of drilling in ANWR are significant. The risks associated with oil spills, habitat destruction, and pollution cannot be ignored. The delicate Arctic environment is particularly vulnerable to such disturbances. Environmentalists warn of the risks to wildlife, water resources, and the delicate balance of the Arctic ecosystem. The region is home to a variety of species, including caribou, polar bears, and migratory birds, all of which could be adversely affected by drilling activities. The potential for long-term environmental damage has led to strong opposition from conservation groups and indigenous communities who rely on the land for their traditional way of life. The debate over oil drilling in ANWR is not just about economics and energy. It's also about preserving a way of life and protecting a unique and fragile environment. As the discussions continue, the challenge remains to find a balance between development and conservation, ensuring that the decisions made today do not compromise the future of this remarkable region. A political tug-of-war, the fate of ANWR in the balance. The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, or ANWR, has long been a battleground for environmentalists and energy advocates alike. This pristine wilderness, home to diverse wildlife and untouched landscapes, is at the heart of a fierce debate that has spanned decades. The debate over drilling in ANWR has raged for decades, with no easy answers. On one side, environmentalists argue that drilling would irreparably harm the delicate ecosystem, threatening species that rely on this habitat. On the other side, proponents of drilling emphasize the potential economic benefits and the promise of energy independence. The issue has become a political football, tossed back and forth between administrations. Each new government brings its own policies and priorities, leading to a constant state of flux. This has created a sense of uncertainty and frustration among stakeholders, from indigenous communities to oil companies. Each side has dug in its heels, making compromise elusive. The deep divisions in Congress reflect the broader national debate, with passionate arguments on both sides. Environmentalists warn of catastrophic consequences, while industry advocates highlight job creation and economic growth. The Trump administration, with its pro-business agenda, made opening ANWR to drilling a top priority. They argued that tapping into the refuge's resources was essential for American energy dominance and economic prosperity. This move was seen as a significant victory for the oil industry, which had long lobbied for access to these untapped reserves. They argued that it was essential for American energy dominance. The administration believed that increasing domestic oil production would reduce reliance on foreign oil, create jobs, and boost the economy. This perspective resonated with many who saw energy independence as a critical national security issue. In 2017, Congress passed legislation allowing for oil and gas leasing in the refuge's coastal plain. This decision marked a significant shift in U.S. energy policy and was hailed by supporters as a step towards greater energy security. However, it also sparked a wave of legal challenges and protests from environmental groups. However, the Biden administration, with its focus on climate change and environmental protection, has taken a different stance. President Biden has made it clear that combating climate change is a top priority for his administration. This includes protecting sensitive areas like ANWR from the impacts of oil and gas development. They have pledged to protect ANWR and have taken steps to reverse the Trump-era policies. This includes halting new oil and gas leases in the refuge and reviewing existing permits. The administration's actions have been praised by environmentalists, but criticized by those who believe it will harm the economy and energy sector. The future of drilling in the refuge remains uncertain. As the political pendulum swings, the fate of ANWR hangs in the balance. The ongoing tug-of-war between environmental protection and energy development continues to shape the debate, leaving the future of this unique and fragile landscape in question. The decisions made in the coming years will have lasting impacts on both the environment and the economy. Voices of the Wilderness. Conservationists and indigenous communities speak out. Conservationists have long fought to protect ANWR from oil development. They argue that the risks to the environment are simply too great. They point to the devastating effects of oil spills, such as the Exxon Valdez disaster, which ravaged Prince William Sound in 1989. Indigenous communities, who have called ANWR home for centuries, are also deeply concerned about the potential impacts of drilling. They rely on the refuge's resources for their livelihoods and cultural survival. They fear that oil development would disrupt their way of life and contaminate their traditional hunting and fishing grounds. Drilling for prosperity? The economic argument and Alaska's perspective. Proponents of drilling in ANWR often cite the economic benefits that oil production could bring. They argue that it would create jobs, generate revenue for the state, and reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. The Alaskan government, which stands to gain financially from oil royalties, has been a vocal supporter of drilling. They argue that oil exploration can be done responsibly, with minimal impact on the environment. They point to technological advancements in drilling techniques and spill prevention. However, opponents argue that even with the best technology, accidents can happen, and the consequences in such a fragile environment could be catastrophic. The environmental impact of oil spills. Despite assurances of safety, the risk of oil spills remains a pressing concern. Pause warnings. Images of pristine landscapes can be shattered by the devastation of a spill. Pause ones. In the fragile ecosystem of ANWR, the consequences could be severe. Pause ones. Oil spills can lead to long-lasting damage, affecting the soil, water, and wildlife. Pause ones. The impact on marine life can be especially dire, with oil suffocating fish and coating the feathers of birds, rendering them unable to fly. Pause ones. The cleanup process is arduous and expensive, often falling short of fully restoring the environment. Pause ones. Videos of past spills remind us of the potential for disaster. Pause ones. The Exxon Valdez spill of 1989 serves as a stark warning. Pause ones. In the aftermath, thousands of animals perished, and the ecosystem has yet to fully recover. Pause ones. For many, the risk to ANWR's unique and delicate environment is simply too great. Pause ones. The question remains, is the potential economic gain worth the environmental cost? The political landscape. The debate over drilling in ANWR is not just an environmental issue, it is deeply political. Pause ones. The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge has become a battleground where policy, ideology, and economics collide. Pause ones. On one side, proponents argue that tapping into ANWR's oil reserves is necessary for national energy security and economic growth. Pause ones. They cite potential job creation and reduced dependence on foreign oil as key benefits. Pause ones. On the other side, environmentalists and many indigenous communities vehemently oppose drilling, highlighting the irreversible damage to the ecosystem and the cultural heritage of the Gwich'in people. Pause ones. The political tug-of-war has seen various administrations flip-flop on the issue. Pause ones. In 1980, the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act left the door open for future exploration. Pause ones. But it wasn't until the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 that a significant push for drilling was made. Pause ones. This legislation mandated lease sales in the refuge, igniting renewed controversy. Pause ones. The Biden administration has since paused these efforts, reflecting the ongoing uncertainty and division. Pause ones. Lobbying efforts from both sides are fierce, with billions at stake. Pause ones. The political landscape is further complicated by international interests and the global push for renewable energy. Pause ones. As climate change becomes an increasingly urgent issue, the political stakes surrounding ANWR have never been higher. Pause ones. The question remains, will political will align with environmental stewardship, or will economic interests prevail? The future of renewable energy in Alaska. As the debate over drilling in ANWR rages on, another conversation is gaining momentum: the potential for renewable energy in Alaska. Pause once. With its vast natural resources, Alaska is uniquely positioned to be a leader in renewable energy. Pause once. From harnessing the power of wind and solar to tapping into geothermal and hydroelectric energy, the possibilities are immense. Pause once. Already, small communities in Alaska are pioneering renewable energy projects, reducing their reliance on diesel and lowering their carbon footprint. Pause once. These initiatives not only provide a cleaner source of energy, but also offer economic benefits, creating jobs and fostering sustainable development. Pause once. In our final chapter, we turn to the voices that matter most, the people who call Alaska home. Pause once. From the bustling streets of Anchorage to the remote villages within the Arctic Circle, Alaskans share their hopes, fears, and dreams for the future of ANWR. Pause one. Push once. Local Resident Chapter 1. ANWR is more than just a piece of land. It's a part of our heritage, our culture. To see it threatened by drilling is heartbreaking. Local Resident 2. I understand the economic benefits, but at what cost? The wildlife, the pristine landscapes? Once they're gone, we can't get them back. Local Leader. We need to find a balance. Renewable energy offers a path forward that respects our environment and our traditions. Young Alaskan. We have the potential to lead the nation in renewable energy. It's time for us to take that step and protect our future. Narrator. These voices echo a common sentiment, a deep love for their land, and a desire to see it preserved for future generations. Pause once. As we close our journey through ANWR, we are reminded that the fate of this unique and fragile place lies in our hands. Pause once. The decisions we make today will shape the legacy we leave behind. Pause once. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of ANWR. We hope it has inspired you to think critically about the choices we face and the future we want to create. Pause once. Until next time, take care and stay informed.